This poem is called Let Seattle Be. I'm going to need an anti-wind support. Let Seattle be. Let Seattle be Seattle, the place that was and is and will be. Seattle has become a home for me among the shackled and the free. The place where trees once stood before there was a neighborhood. Seattle was the cedar's majesty before the plains and glass spines scraped the sky. She was the mother in her children's eyes. Before the hills were pushed into the sand, this was and is and will be Duwamish land. Let Seattle be Seattle. A chief's name on foreign tongues. Seattle recognized and sung by dolphins we call killer whales before they too are gone. A sanctuary city in a filled-in estuary. Let Seattle be hope in this hope-broken land. A shelter and a refuge, a fist to stop a tyrant's hand. Seattle, your tectonic faults are great. See the last one leaving, turn out the lights. See the home of war and of flight. See the gold rush and sourdough bread. See the Issei and the Nisei of the Panama Hotel. 7,000 gone by what a president said. See how Hooverville returns again and again. See old covenants outside the International District and CE. See where no Asians and no Africans could be. How more than others we still live without the trees. Oh, gray blanket on the streets and in the skies. See the tents, the sweeps, and totem poles. Seattle, remember, too, the change you are and want to be. Fighting the wind in more than one way. Seattle, remember too the change you are and want to be. Listen to the Gang of Four, understand their unity. Listen to the Gang of Four, notice what remains. When the soil of ourselves is pushed into the sand, what rises from the grains is in the people's hands. See Bob Santos in the International District. See Bernie White Bear occupy the Daybreak Star. See Larry Gossett camp to feed the people, no matter what the name. See Roberto Maestra and El Centro de la Raza still rising, still again. Say, who are you in the sailor's sea? Pushed aside for prosperity. I am the Black River gone as the people cried. I am the Chinook dead on the side. I am the orca carrying my child. I am the gray whale beached at Al-Kai. I am your neighbor without shelter in the sand. Oh, but Seattle is mighty, even with its broken dreams. Oh, Seattle is mighty when it looks in its own eyes. What city do you know that fights itself to undo its present harms? What city do you know that sounds its own alarms? What city do you know that was raised by colonizers and turns itself upon itself to put out ancient fires? This place of wooded paths and parks that must belong to all. This place where we drink the water from protected Cedar Falls. This place where race and social justice is built into the law. This place where you are taught to understand the power of it all. The power of illusion that there are racial lines. The power of illusion that's kept us all behind. But the strength of our ethnicity is celebrated here. So, sing What's Right, Seattle, over the heartless song. Sing the estuary where freshwater meets the sea, where orcas must survive for our health and their dignity. Sing My Posse's on Broadway. Sing jazz on Jackson Street and Wires. Sing Jimi Hendrix, What Stars in His Spangled Banner Demand. Sing WTO, Black Panthers and the Women's March. Sing an endangered song. Sing a whale song. Sing Quincy Jones. Sing Ernestine Anderson. Sing grunge and hip hop. Speak tablets to the sky. Speak Octavia Butler and her brood in a futuristic mood. Speak Gabrielle and Riz. Speak August Wilson. Play out all the cycles. Speak Colleen McElroy with Madagascar lips. Dance. Color. Dance color into the dark canvas of winter. Dance Chihuly in two steps. Dance Jacob Lawrence and Deborah Moore. Dance Dingus and Barbara Earl. Dance Cabby and Sylvia Fort. Feast on forests of food from Beacon Hill. Become an Amazon for equity with the sweet, steamy foam of justice in our mouths. Come, all, stand in the crossroads of the red, black, and green. Stand in the rainbow of what has been. Celebrate this Emerald City and its Green New Deal. Make a way for the poor and the impoverished to heal. Sing What's Right, Seattle. Let Seattle be Seattle, the place that was and is and will be. Seattle has become a home for me, among the shackled and the free. Amidst the resistance there must be, as the hills were pushed into the sand, Seattle will bring, must bring justice to our land. Thank you. So I have to say, that poem was written for the Mayor's Arts Awards at the beginning of what I didn't know everything was going to change. This poem, the next one, that I'm holding on tightly because I can see it happening, that some innocent person in the front row who I'll point to will have to chase my paper as it blows away. So I'm trying to not have that happen. But I gotta tell you, this poem is about the wind. And I don't know who else here in Seattle enjoys the fireworks that would come from the Space Needle on New Year's Eve. But we didn't get to have it in 2020. The wind, as you know or may remember, for the first time in years, there was no fireworks as we entered 2020 because of the wind. And then we didn't have fireworks again to start 2021. I just want you to notice that as I'm standing here trying to hold on to these papers and read these poems about this, what is up with the wind? I just got to mention it because you'll see why in a second. This is the only other poem I'm going to read, and this was commissioned by the Space Needle in lieu of fireworks. What we see in the dark is light. How did you end up here? Between my fingers, a year like water. In my hand like rain. One bead waiting on an autumn leaf. Resisting the fall. Isn't that it? Each of us braced against a wind that hasn't stopped blowing. A woman who wants you to know how old she is, how long she's been waiting to thread the sky with this needle. 2020 came in with a wind, blowing out candles so we can see in the dark. At camp, we'd sit in the smell of cedars, listening to the night. We'd crunch the white lifesavers to watch the wintergreen spark. OC, can you say what your eyes taste in the dark? Fireworks between your teeth, each part of you trembling with the celebration of cold wind survivors. That's what we are, cold wind survivors. I came from a people whose ancestors tried on New Year's Eve to put it aside. We worried each time what the next day would bring. Would we awake with our family and kin? 2020 came in with a wind. 2020's been blowing ever since. My neighbors are unknown friends who in the beginning of loneliness thawed. Seattle melted into the streets with hellos and how are yous that people really meant, perhaps. The distance, like improv, saxophones, and protests, made us a song walking. 2020 came in with the wind. 2020's blowing ever since. Like leaves we are, orange, dancing, holding the hand of rain. Rising from our knees of smoke, saying 2021, here we are. Becoming, that is what we do. Bust and boom, 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 boom. 2021, we are ready to dance. Thank you.